back to Roundabout. I'm your host, Zach Moore. We're here to talk NASCAR news. This is a podcast style. It's going to be around right under 30 minutes. I'm not making these longs. It's really just going to be a bunch of YouTube videos I would make individually, all into one. So, looking forward to talking about it all. So let's get started. We got to talk about North Wilkesboro. We'll also be previewing Charlotte. So, first thing, we got to talk about the Kyle Busch versus Ricky Stenhouse fight. Lots of stuff came out of this. It all stemmed with a lap 2 incident. Kyle Busch felt like Ricky sent it 3 wide into turn 2, kind of forced Kyle up towards the wall. It looked like Ricky gave Kyle plenty of room, but hearing from these, Benny Hamlin and some drivers that they were going to hit no matter what, it was just the way it all was going to work out. So in a way, I guess Kyle Busch was right and to be upset with Ricky. Now, it still looked like Ricky had plenty of room and gave Kyle plenty of room, but due to that, and due to the way Kyle felt like he got unraced, he chose to retaliate and pretty much wrecking Ricky Stenhouse. A lot of people will say it was intentional. It was definitely intentional. Now, I don't think Kyle meant to intentionally right hook Ricky Stenhouse because, Ricky was trying to save it while getting bumped, and he overcorrected it and hit the wall. We've seen that a lot of times with these drivers. So pretty much Ricky was frustrated. He parked it in the Kyle Busch's pit stall, came out of his car, told the crew chief that he's going to see Kyle off the race, told the media that there's no need to talk to Kyle. There's no need to talk to him. I'm going to see him. So it was all this build up. Okay, what's going to happen? And pretty much Ricky said from interviews that he was not going to leave. He couldn't leave the racetrack due to the fact there's no underground tunnel. So the only way to get out is this gate in the wall. So he pretty much sat there all the entire race. The race ends. And the entire media, the All-Star race was not that great and nothing really appealing. So Ricky is sitting there at Kyle Busch's hauler hitch. And all the media, all you see is Kyle walking towards Ricky. And there's so many camera angles because this is the only thing people were really caring about after the race. So Kyle gets to him and they talk. They disagree. Kyle didn't see the replay. Ricky tells Kyle to look at the replay. Kyle's like, "Are you sure?" They're disagreeing. Well, all of a sudden, you can just see Ricky's face. You can see his posture. All of a sudden, he swings on Kyle. Kyle, it looks like he connects. And then a big scuffle. Ricky gets separated. Kyle falls over tires. Ricky's dad gets involved. Punches Kyle, it looks like. And then Kyle throws a couple of punches. The crewmen are ganging up. It looked like Kyle Busch got ganged up on until his crewmen started coming over. It was a wild mess. NASCAR promoted the crap out of this fight. It was awesome. It was entertaining. But recently, and was announced yesterday, Ricky Stenhouse has been fined $75,000. 2 of his crew members, one was suspended 8 races, other one was suspended 4 races, and Ricky Stenhouse's dad, was indefinitely suspended. Because he got involved in a fight. He deserved to get suspended, so he probably lost his hard car. Who knows how long? But Kyle Busch was not at all penalized, and that was the whole debate. It felt like people thought Kyle Busch should have got penalized. Like I said, he definitely intentionally wrecked Ricky Stenhouse. But to me, if Ricky just spun out, I don't think there was going to be was going to be that big of a deal, not big of an issue. But due to the fact that Ricky was trying to save it, I feel like he made it worse and made it look worse on Kyle by wrecking, pretty much going head on to the wall. I just don't understand the fine. And Ricky has been in interviews. He felt like it was a little excessive. Pretty much Elton Sawyer, his reasoning was, when you wait 198 laps and you make those decisions, and that's what make those decisions, we're going to react. Pretty much Elton Sawyer saying that when you wait so long and then you choose to take those actions like Ricky did, you're going to pay for it. And I just don't understand it because it's such a hypocritical thing. When NASCAR is promoting the crap, gave the sport so much to talk about, and people that aren't even NASCAR fans, and people, and even sports shows like ESPN have talked about, the Pat McAfee show has talked about. It's just a terrible look because when you promote a bunch about it, and then it looks like you're for it. I'm not saying they want fighting every week, but then I'm just saying that they like fighting because it gives people talking about stuff. But then you freaking penalize $75,000. This is the largest penalty for a fight ever. The previous largest fine was $50,000. That was from Tony Stewart back in 2004. So it's just, oh my gosh, man, so frustrating. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Dale Jr. chimed in. To me, the whole thing with Elton Sawyer, who was the VP of NASCAR competition, saying that due to the fact that Ricky waited, he had to wait. He couldn't leave the freaking track. So he's probably just built up frustration. That's what's going to happen. So I'm not going to get too big into the fight. It's been, the fight is almost the end of the week, and I just decided to talk about this fight. But I disagree. I think the penalty is way, way too severe. I think a $25,000 penalty would have been nice, would have been fine. But a $75,000 penalty, I'm not sure. I haven't heard, but Ricky has not appealed the penalty. Hopefully, I think he should. I think he could really have a strong argument to get this thing overturned, because the people that are on the appeals committee aren't really in connection with NASCAR. So there's a good chance. I think he should, just to see. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. was saying that it would just be a good thing for Ricky to learn how the appeals process works. So I think that's all I'm going to say about the fight. But we get into this race. Oh my gosh, this race was, to me, a disappointment. The tire, they brought a wet wear tire, pretty much what it was. It was an option tire that had no tread. So it was a wet wear tire with no tread, slick tire. Practice looked like it was going to be really interesting. The race, the track, North Wilkesboro, they did a great job. SMI did a great job, very paved. It was multi-grooving. And there's a lot of hype with this race, 200 laps. But the tire failed, in my opinion. It didn't do a good job. I think Joey Logano, who won the race, led 199 laps. Only other person leading that was Brad Keselowski, but that was due because Joey had his pit stop before the finish line. So Brad crossed the finish line before Joey because of his pit stop. But it's just so frustrating, because I thought this tire was going to work. This, to me, would be the most aggressive tire that Goodyear could even make, because it's a wet wear tire. And that tire is meant to it's super, super soft because it's meant for rain. It's just so sad. A lot of people were saying the reason Joey Logano was able to be so dominant in this race was due to his test session at North Wilkesboro. He did take credit for why he was so good. I think he tested like 800 laps. So he was able to dial his car in a lot. So that definitely, I think it was a big factor. Really, Denny Hamlin had a good car. I think he was second best, but it's just so disappointing because the tires, they pretty much, after a certain amount of laps, they ran like 90 laps on these, what were supposed to be the softest thing Goodyear has brought, and they just equalized out. There was a little bit of strategy, but there wasn't much. Just racing. I think the track's really, really good. I think it's more on the car. And it looks like Goodyear says they're going to be aggressive, but then Hamlin says that he doesn't think Goodyear can get more aggressive. So disappointing, but also the race was cool. There's a lot of hype. Kyle Larson, we can talk about him for a little bit. Freaking qualifying fifth for the Indy 500 is huge, and him flying in a chopper was really, really cool to see. Massive thing, really awesome. I'm really excited to watch the Indy 500. I might do a little preview episode talking about that. So really, really cool. Overall, I hope Goodyear can find and make a softer tire to get this racing, because I think right now, due to the fact that NASCAR doesn't want a bunch of horsepower, I think. And the drivers have said, get this tire super soft. I think they gotta get massively aggressive. Just get massively aggressive. NASCAR, teams have literally told Goodyear that they will not. They understand what Goodyear. That they're all for Goodyear being super aggressive. And if the tire blows out or fails, the teams will back Goodyear, because this is what they want. They want a super soft tire. And there's also this whole debate of whether or not they should have like option tires all the time. Like you bring a hard compound, you bring a soft compound, bring some strategy. The teams are really, really smart. I think that'd be cool, but I was hearing something from Cliff Daniels, Kyle Larson's crew chief, saying that if they were to do something like that, they should make one tire super, super hard and the other tire super, super soft. So will be interesting to see what the future is with the tires. Definitely disappointing. I was a little bummed, but at least we had a fight that gave us something to talk about. Probably was, any fight in NASCAR is probably going to steal the show, but this one really stole the show. But now let's get into the overall, some silly season news I want to get into. Let's talk about the NASCAR Hall of Fame inductees. Carl freaking Edwards, man. Ralph Mooney and Ricky Rudd. Congratulations to those people. It was a really tough debate. There was a lot of drivers that there was no really huge standouts. They had these massive resumes. Ricky Rudd, I believe, won 19 races in the NASCAR Cup Series. Ralph Mooney was a really successful crew chief, won 56 races as a crew chief, and then Carl Edwards won 28 races. There was a massive debate, because the way the ballot is, it's only like a little bit over a year old, because I think it started like in 9, 10. So they have like a modern era and then a Pioneer. So they have a modern ballot and a pioneer ballot. Pioneer ballot. Holy crap there. So I think Ralph Mooney and Ricky Rudd were from the pioneer ballot. Carl Edwards, Ricky Rudd were from the modern ballot, and Ralph Mooney was from the pioneer ballot. There's a lot of debate whether or not Carl Edwards deserved it. To me, Carl Edwards deserves to be a Hall of Famer. So, to me, they're debating whether or not he didn't have enough wins. And then, to me, if we look at it, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a first ballot Hall of Famer with only 26 Cup Series wins. Yes, two Daytona 500s. But to me, Carl Edwards has more wins than Dale Earnhardt Jr. So you just can't make. I don't understand. If Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in, then Carl Edwards in. And I don't like that we're freaking comparing. Like, to me, Hall of Fame should be a whatever you were however the most successful you were in the NASCAR Cup Series should be whether or not you deserve to be a Hall of Famer. We should not be counting freaking Xfinity Series stats, Truck Series stats. I don't like that that's even considered. People are using that debate because Carl Edwards has like 38 Xfinity Series wins. He has more Xfinity Series wins than Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, I know Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in the Xfinity Series less. He does also, Carl Edwards has an Xfinity Series championship. In my opinion, Carl Edwards deserves to be a Hall of Famer. And I'm excited to hear him. He hasn't been around last year in the NASCAR 75. He was at Darlington, got to hear interviews, so I'm looking forward to hearing his induction speak. It's really cool. I love Carl Edwards, fan favorite. Also, congrats to Ralph Mooney and Ricky Rudd. I know Ricky Rudd. And then Ralph Mooney, I didn't know much about him, but congrats to the Hall of Famers. Looking forward to hearing their induction speeches. Also, we can get into the NASCAR in-season tournament was announced last week. To me, this is pretty much Denny Hamlin's idea brought up, and Dirty Mo Media is going to do it for a second year. Dirty Mo Media actually did this legit, and they had I think Dale Jr. said there was over 200,000 brackets made through that website, which was really, really cool. So NASCAR has brought it on, and they're doing it during the TNT part of the season, and the first race for TNT will be also Atlanta, so that'll be the first race of the in-season tournament. This is also the top 32, the final three races of the Prime Video series are scheduled. That's how they're going to seed, and the way they seed is on the driver's best average finish during those three races. How they see, I guess the points don't matter. I thought it's off of points. I'm not sure. I don't want to confuse people. The winner gets $1 million. This is really cool. I think, especially with gambling a big deal now in North Carolina, I think you're going to see a lot of fans and maybe casual fans and non-fans getting on this. Now, putting Atlanta as the first race of the in-season tournament is a freaking curveball. It's going to be interesting, fascinating to see that and how that plays out. But this in-season tournament's awesome. So happy NASCAR was able to make it happen. TV partners are on board. Looking forward to it. Now, I did want to bring up some. So far, we have 4 races that we know that are going to be on the schedule because we had a whole talk there. So the Daytona 500 will be on Fox February 16th. The Coca-Cola 600, which is also this week, will be on Prime Video. This is cool. I know fans are going to have to pay for that subscription, but it's cool. NASCAR wants to give each of their new TV partners a big-time race, and that's what NASCAR is doing with giving Prime Video the Coca-Cola 600. We'll hear Dale Jr. And then also, I already talked about Atlanta. Going to be the first race on TNT Sports. Going to be awesome. Can't wait for that in-season tournament. And then looks like Phoenix will return as the final race of the 2025 NASCAR season as a championship race. So a little disappointing. A lot of fans don't like Phoenix, and it's not putting on a great race, especially when you think about the mile and a half and how great those racing is. And you're going to go back to a short track. Hopefully, if they do, when they go to this track, they can bring a softer tire. A tire that is aggressive. I mean, this race, the 2025 championship race, won't be until a year and a half now. So I think, hopefully, as we continue to get this tire, hopefully softer and softer, that when we come to this race again, even this upcoming Phoenix race, we can get, I think, because right now, I think the tire, I already said, is the most important thing in making this racing the best it could possibly be, because NASCAR doesn't want to mess with horsepower. I'm disappointed because I wish, they all talk about warmer weather being the reason for why they go to Phoenix or these tracks. I would love Las Vegas, but NASCAR is not going to give SMI, which is not owned by NASCAR, Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, a championship race because NASCAR wants to hold the championship race, and they own Phoenix. And look, Phoenix has done a great job. They have marketing the crap out of their championship race. They got billboards all around the airport at Phoenix. So Phoenix, they do a great job. And I think, and they sell out. 40,000 seats isn't super a lot, but they're selling out. They sell out this freaking spring race. All the races are getting sold out. And it looks like 2026 we could see Homestead. So I think overall, yes, it's disappointing. Hopefully NASCAR can do a good job with this short track package to make that racing at Phoenix good for a good championship race. But I'm looking forward to 2026 where we hopefully get a mile and a half in Homestead back. Some other things, some charter news. Looks like Stenhouse could be going full goodbye, selling all 4 charters. And it's looking like those things could devalue charters. And, BJ McLeod's smiling in his chair right now because these charters are looking like they could be going for around 20 to 30 million. A lot less money, around 10 to 15 less $1 million than what BJ paid for, that freaking Spire paid for their $40 million charter from Lidfast Motorsports. And it looks like we're still trying to figure out this charter agreement situation. I think it looks like NASCAR has sent out a big, massive 80-page document about what NASCAR wants on this charter agreement that hopefully teams can sign. And also I'm hearing stuff about this charter agreement that is a little bit crazy to me about the possibility. This is from Adam Stern from Sports Business Journal. If I can get there, I just lost it. Excuse me. And as we're trying, see now I'm just talking. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. I'm trying to figure out where I had it. My notes. I take notes. This is from a new article. Under the proposed terms of the charter agreement, teams are negotiating with NASCAR. There is a provision included that would limit teams to owning 3 charters. Joe Gibbs Racing and Motorsports would be grandfathered in. So there's this whole talk about teams only having 3 charters. So is this, it looks like, I'm not sure, I haven't really gotten into it, but it's like the teams are negotiating that they want this. I don't know, this is pretty wild. So that maybe the teams want to give out less. Maybe they want to be able to sell. There's only 2 teams right now that have 4 charters. So they would be 4. I guess Hendrick and Juggins would be forced into this if this was to be agreed. I don't know. This is a very confusing thing. I haven't really gotten into the full article, but this is a quote from Adam Stern and The Athletic. Excuse me. This is pretty wild. Would be interesting if that was a case where teams could only have 3 charters. So it looks like the teams have 4 charters, which is literally only Joe Gibbs and Hendrick Motorsports. We'll have to get rid of the charter. It could open up, these teams. We could get more teams, but still have 36 charters. So be interesting there. Charter agreement hopefully gets signed. It's a massive deal. But very, very interesting. Now, last thing I wanted to talk about was the overall Coca-Cola 600 preview. We got the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. Exciting in the truck race, as always. I see, Corey Hiram, I think he's going to be fast. I can look at the Thor Sport Motorsports, Nice Motorsports, the Chevys. I mean, Corey Hiram he's dominating the series right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he is dominant in the amount of halves. I mean, he won this past weekend, and then I think he won at Kansas. He dominated freaking Kansas. And that was a snooze fest too. That wasn't a great race. I think, freaking Zane Smith could have won that race. So excited with the truck race, and the Xfinity Series race is absolutely stacked. 40 car entry. I mean, we got Kyle Busch in the 33. We got Chase Elliott in the 17 Hendrick car. The 33 with Kyle Busch is the RCR car. And then Eric Almirola was going to be in the 20 car. But it'll be Ty Gibbs. So this is going to be exciting. I can't wait. Also, Noah Gragson, my apologies, will be in the 30 car. I mean, that'll be for Viking Motorsports in the number 30. I don't know. But that's going to be really fun to watch, the Xfinity Series race. Also, the cars are really fun to drive. It's the Bet GM 300. That'll be around 1 o'clock on Saturday. Also, truck race will be around 8 o'clock on Friday. And the Cup race, dude. This is also another 40-car field. Also, the Coca-Cola 600 is sold out. Again, I think this is the 4th or 3rd straight year. 40 entries. Massive. Jimmy Johnson will be in this race in the 84. SVG in the 16. Wow. And the 50 car is back, which is the money team has merged with Team Anari Vet. Now, I do not know if that is it correctly, the way I should be saying it. They have partnered and merged, and Ty Dillon will be driving the 50 car this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Also, the 66 car of Carl Long will also be racing in this. Excuse me, it's the Carl Long Racing. I believe in the 66 will be BJ McLeod. It was a bit of a tongue twister for me. Like, I mumble a lot too and forget what I'm even talking about sometimes. But that is this weekend. I mean, I'm looking forward to this weekend's racing. I mean, the Coca Center is going to be an endurance race. I'm excited to see how Fords. If I'm going for Chris Busch to win this race. I could see it. I think the Fords are legit back. I think they're fast. They got good speed, and this race is going to be awesome. Oh my gosh, the mile halves are so good. It's going to be the best, most exciting racing for 400 miles ever again. For the Xfinity Series, I mean, I can see Kyle Busch winning, but also I can see the Toyotas have just been always so freaking good, man. Junior Motorsports too, but I got Ty Gibbs winning this freaking thing. And also Chase Elliott in the 17 car is going to be good. I could also see him winning the Cup race. There's a lot of favorites this weekend. Excited for it. Looking forward to the Indy 500 as well. Stay tuned to a preview. That is a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Besides that, give me a review. Let me know what you think about this podcast. Critique if you want. Thank you so much. Check this video out on YouTube. If not, also check out my podcast, all the podcast platforms. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.